So everyone is up in arms about what happened at the Capitol the other day. Uh, I'll be the first one to say, well, I won't be the first, but I'll say that it was wrong and it shouldn't have happened. Uh, I don't think anyone wanted to see that. I don't think Trump wanted to see it. I don't think anyone wanted to see it. And I'm not going to make an excuse for it. I will say this, however. We watched cities burn all summer, and we watched the Democrats either justify it or just totally ignore it. Private businesses, homes, black-owned businesses, minority neighborhoods that were destroyed by people who claim to be doing it in the name of minorities, to help, like Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter only cares about the black lives who think like they do. Make no mistake about that. Joe Biden has come out and decided, screw unity, I'm going to fan the flames a little more by turning this into a racial thing. And then today he calls Ted Cruz a Nazi. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. Kamala Harris wants to round up all Trump supporters. Michelle Obama thinks that anyone who supports Trump should be permanently banned from all social media. Emanuel Cleaver wants to make sure we never have a non-politician ever become president again. But Ted Cruz is the Nazi? I don't think these people who throw the word Nazi and fascism around, I don't think it doesn't mean what they think it means. Because if they really understood what the word fascism means, then they would realize that they were the fascist. Everything they say is fascist. Yet, Antifa is the fascists. They are the fascists. They are the modern day National Socialists, which were the Nazis. They are the brown shirts of the Democrat Party. So I'm always amused when they say, "Oh, punch a Nazi." Well, you have to punch yourself. They called Ted Cruz a Nazi. They called Trump a Nazi for 4 years. Look, you can like or dislike Donald Trump. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care either way. But he's not a Nazi. Just because you disagree with someone doesn't make him a Nazi. All right? It just makes him someone you disagree with. We used to live by the adage in this country, I may not agree with what you say, but I'll defend your right to say it. Remember that? That's how we used to live in this country. That's what the United States was about. We may have disagreements, but we're all working together to move forward. But that's gone. And look, there are people on the other side as well. There's people on the right the same way. I heard people on the right trying to defend what happened in the Capitol. Well, the left been rioting and looting since summer. It worked for them. Yeah, it worked for them because they have the news media on their side. The news media would, like I said, totally ignore it, or they would stand in front of a burning building and tell you that the protests were peaceful. They're that hypocritical. They're not going to do that for you, man. They're not going to do that for the right. Wake up. Pull your head out of your orifice. It's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen. And all you people calling for revolution on the right, I'm going to tell you something. Unless you're from Eastern Europe or somewhere like that, South America or places, you don't know what a revolution is. It's not shit posting on Facebook, bruh. That's not what it is. It's not a meme war or something like that. It's a real war. It's shooting. And the government has more guns than you have. I'm not going to say you should or shouldn't do it. That's not what I'm here to say. I'm saying if you keep talking about revolution and civil war, you better damn well know what you're saying. that means life as you know it will no longer exist. You'll be in a state of perpetual heightened awareness. You will be in a state of always worrying if someone's coming for you. You know, you look back at the first Civil War, you know, in 1861, when people thought, oh, it'll be over in 6 months, no big deal. It's, you know, people fighting amongst themselves, but everything will be fine. And then the first battle happened, and it was bloody as hell, and people realized, oh, wow, oh, we have a real war going on here. Yes, you have a real war going on. And that's what's going to happen here. You know, people on Facebook, oh, I want revolution, man. And, you know, they're going to have their AK slung over their shoulder and all this and that. And if it starts, they're going to get a bullet in their head. Or a bullet's going to fly past their head and goes, oh, crap, they're actually shooting at me. Yes, Clem, they're actually shooting at you, man. So you better know, like I said, I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying you better know what the hell you're talking about. You better understand that you could die, your family could die, your friends could die. You could go to prison for life for treason. There's a lot of things that could happen. You could starve to death. The supply chain will collapse at that point. Now, as far as Donald Trump being arrested, like they keep talking about, let me tell you, my friends on the left, let me give them some advice. You better hope Donald Trump finishes out his term and doesn't get arrested. Because if he gets arrested, you think what happened at the Capitol was bad. Oh, there will be a civil war, whether anybody likes it or not. There will be a revolution, whether anybody likes it or not. And it's not going to be pretty. Because you've been poking at these people on the right for years. You keep poking at them, and you call them a sexist and a racist and a homophobe and a xenophobe. And most of them are not those things. But they disagree with you. So in your mind, if someone disagrees with you, then they must be all those things. And they're not. And they get tired of it. And they're like, why do they keep calling me these names? I'm not that person. But you keep doing it, and you keep poking at it. Instead of just saying, hey, man, I disagree with you. You say, oh, well, you must be a Nazi, and you must be a racist and a sexist and all this. You disagreed with a black person, so you must be racist. No, maybe I disagreed with another human being. But that's not the way the left thinks. The left thinks as a group, as a mob. And they've done that. I don't say they've done that for generations now. And they can't think independently and say, well, maybe that person just disagrees with me just because he disagrees with me. Nope, he's got to be an evil piece of crap. And so you keep poking at these guys and poking them and poking them and poking them. And they're going to start poking back. Now, the problem is with the right used to be full of individuals, but now they're beginning to get a mob mentality because they feel like the only way they can fight this fire is with fire. And I'm really afraid of what's going to happen if some adults don't come in and take this over. And don't expect Congress to do it, because these are the same people who end a prayer by saying amen and a women, because they're so stupid they don't understand that the word amen has nothing to do with gender. So these people are not the adults, believe me. I don't care, Democrat, Republican, I don't care. They're not the adults. You know, you have a few here and there. I think Tulsi Gabbard. You know, I think Rand Paul. People like that. Thomas Massey, Ted Cruz, Vernon Jones. There are a few out there, but most of them are stupider. You know, we always have this idea that politicians somehow are smarter than us. No. Well, most of them got law degrees. Come on, man. Doesn't mean anything. You know, Joe Biden got a law degree. Okay? Need I say more? They're not smarter than us. In fact, they're dumber than us in a lot of ways, especially the career politicians. You know, and that's why they didn't like Trump, because he was an outsider. He wasn't a politician. They don't like that. It's supposed to stay in their little clique. See, the Democrats didn't like George W. Bush, but they wasn't going to impeach him. Why? Because he was in their clique. The Republicans didn't like Barack Obama, but they weren't going to impeach him. Why? Because he was in their clique. So as long as you're in their clique, yeah, you can disagree with them, but they can do the most horrendous things in the world, and it's okay because they're in their little clique. Now, see, if this would have happened, say Bush was president and this happened, I say, well, if Obama was president, the news media would have just ignored it. They'd have told you nothing much happened, don't worry, it was peaceful and all that. But say Bush was president and they did it. The press would play it up a bit. And the Democrats would get on the floor and blow over it. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, my God. There wouldn't be any of this impeachment and get him out of office, blah, blah, anything like that. Why? Because he was in their clique. That's why Bush, Obama, Clinton, the first Bush, could all drop as many bombs as they wanted to on the Middle East, and that was perfectly fine. They could start up new wars. Obama, Clinton, Bush, they started up new wars, and that was fine. The Code Pink, Code Pink cared when a Republican did it. They didn't care when a Democrat did it because they're a bunch of hypocrites as well, along with Cindy Sheehan. But still, they let it happen. They would vote for it, but then tell you they were against it. Why? Because everybody was in their little clique. Because the Democrats, they like to drop as many bombs as Republicans do. Don't let them fool you. They're not. The only one that's been anti-war has been Trump, and you see what the grief he gets. You think he got any credit for that? No, he didn't get no credit for that. Well, do you think Code Pink was like, yeah, I'm glad we got a guy in there who doesn't want to start another war? No, they kept their mouth shut for 4 years. They haven't said boo because they can't look like they support Donald Trump. Now, if Donald Trump now Joe Biden gets in office, he's probably going to ramp up another war because that's what Democrats do. Code Pink will stay silent about that too. But that's a whole nother thing. The thing is today and what's going on today, and it's not good. And if you think it's good, you don't know what's coming. And I'm telling you, as somebody who works in the supply chain, it's fragile right now already from the pandemic. This will just make it worse if things go the way they look like they're probably going to go. I don't see a good scenario for this because Joe Biden is trying to ramp up the violence with his rhetoric. The Democrats are trying to keep things going. A lot of the Republicans are trying to keep things going. It's not going to be good. It's not going to end well. I'm sorry. Be prepared. Keep yourself prepared, people. Keep yourself prepared. You better have some food and water. You better have gas in your car. You better be prepared. I'm not going to tell you to buy guns and ammo. That's totally up to you. But I'm just saying, be prepared. Quit living like a typical American. Like tomorrow's always going to be there, and the store is always going to be fully stocked with food and all. Just don't stop living like that. Start living like somebody who lives in some of these war-torn countries who, when they have something, they go get it and they keep it. And they're prepared. Because that's the world you're probably going to be living in here pretty soon. Just saying. Anyway, that's it. Have a good day.